Now it is all right?
Now
Yes,
we
sir.
are able to, I am able to hear you, sir.
Okay, madam, let me start.
Yes, sir.
As a part of celebration of 75th year of independence, our Honorable Prime Minister initiated this program being conducted by various ministries of Government of India. As per the above initiative, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India has been catalyzing the organization of program called Vigyan Utsav in association with all Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are very clear now. Yes, sir.
This is the ninth one in the series of program being organized by the
Every 2 minutes, 2 seconds, rather, it is going off.
No problem. Hello.
So you may proceed, sir. No problem. I think.
Today is 11th May. We are celebrating as a technology day. On 11th May 1998, India successfully conducted 3 nuclear tests at Pokhran in Rajasthan. So the Indian government officially declared May 11th as National Technology Day. We are very happy to organize Vigyan Utsav on the theme Future Technologies on this special day. On behalf of Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, I am happy to welcome the dignitaries, officials, especially scientists from DST, Dr. Devapriya Datta, advisor, Dr. Ravikant Vrachwai, Dr. Resmi Sharma, other scientists, researchers, and participants for this program from various educational and research institutions from our state and from other states. It is my privilege to welcome Honorable Dr. Sudha Sesayan, Vice Chancellor, Tamil Nadu, Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai. Dr. Sudha Sesayan is an excellent Tamil orator. She has an outstanding academic record with a teaching experience of more than 30 years. Dr. Sudha Sesayan has many awards to her name, including the Best Performance Award of Appreciation by State Health Department, Kalaimamani Award by Government of Tamil Nadu, Professional Sudamani by Krishna Jnana Sabha, Astika Professional Ratna by Astika Samaj and Sollin Silver Award by Tamil Nadu state government. She will be giving a present, and she was the director in Madras Medical College, and in her tenure, the COVID genomic technology lab also developed in Dr. MGR Medical University, and she is having a credit of so many books and other general things. And under her dynamic leadership, our council also conducted various programs in Tamil Nadu uh, MGR Medical University, and now she will be giving a presentation on future technologies in medicine. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Somasekhar S. Sirena, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Madras, Chennai. He worked as a visiting professor at École Concentrée de Nota, France, and Warsaw University of Technology, Poland. Also, he worked as a director for Tamil Nadu Small Industries Corporation Limited. He has 2 patents, 70 reputed journals, 135 international conference papers, 3 books and 3 monographs and 4 book chapters in his credit. He has received many awards. Dr. Somasekhar will be giving a presentation on current and future research perspectives for intelligent manufacturing system in Industry 4.0. It is my privilege to welcome Honorable Dr. J. Kumar, Vice Chancellor of Madurai Kamaraj University. He holds many positions in Anna University such as Director Crystal Growth Center, Director Center for Technology Development and Transfer, Director Planning and Development, and also Register at Anna University. And also he has received so many awards such as Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Award, DAE Young Scientist Award, Tamil Nadu Scientist Award for Physical Science, Asia Pacific Academy of Materials and Academician Award, Arivial Kalanjiyam Award. Dr. Kumar will be giving presentation on future technologies, materials. It is also my pleasure to welcome Dr. Nishat Fatima, Senior Principal Scientist, CLRI Chennai. Her work on biophysical studies on collagen has led to development of biomaterials and value-added materials from prestigious waste. From proteinous waste. He has been awarded the prestigious INSA Medal for Young Scientists, INAE Young Engineering Award, IEA Young Engineering Award, SCRB Women Excellence Award, Naidama Young Scientist Award, Fellow Madras Science Association, and INSA DFC Visiting Scientist Award, Tamil Nadu Young Scientist Award from Government of Tamil Nadu. She has been the project investigator for several projects funded by CSIR, DST, SCRB, DBT, INSA, etc. Dr. Nisha Fatima will be making a presentation on sustainability and circular economy with respect to leather and footwear industry. Dr. Nisha Fatima will be.
நீங்க முடிச்சிட்டு புறப்படுங்க, மீட்டிங்ல இருங்க.
It is my pleasure to welcome.
இங்க வந்து வாட்ட மாட்டேன், எனக்கு வேலை இருக்குங்க.
Administrator, please mute all other participants. It is my pleasure to welcome Dr. K. Sendil Kumar. Currently, he is a professor and director, Dr. Kalam Advanced UAE Research Center, Center for Aerospace Research, MIT Campus, Anna University. Very difficult.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Please continue, sir. Please continue, sir.
Award, IAF. He is recipient of Innovation Award, CTDT, Anna University. Dr. Sendil. He is playing an important role to lead, catalyze, direct, and conduct research programs in all areas of science and technology, including future technologies, utilizing the excellent infrastructure and manpower facilities available with our state academic and research institutions. The Council is implementing totally 20 S&D programs aimed at research and development of scientific manpower, and taking the benefits of science and technology to various sections of society, including scientists, researchers, industry, farmer, self-help group members, women, and others. In this meeting, we have tried showcasing the contribution of our institutions in Tamil Nadu towards future technology through education, research, and extension activities. Future technologies will change the way we live and we make life easier and faster. It creates new career opportunities. As we develop the technology of the future, we can work towards creating a better world long term. Technological advancements are changing our life with trends like AI, artificial intelligence, robotics, IoT, Internet of Things, AVVR, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, 3D painting, 3D printing, etc., and more. We will be hearing about future technologies from scientists and researchers from the Tamil Nadu Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai, IIT Madras, Chennai, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai, Central Leather Research Institute, Adaya, MIT Campus, Anna University. And I welcome all the dignitaries and all the participants to successful complete this program. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your welcome message and opening remarks. In this webinar, we have 5 important technical sessions, which will be handled by our esteemed guest speakers, who all have very rich experience in both academic and administration. It's my honor to invite Dr. Sudha Seshayan, Vice Chancellor, the Tamil Nadu Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai, to deliver her presentation on future technologies in medicine.
Thank you very much. Kindly permit me to share my screen. Can you give me the permission from there?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Yeah. Take a minute.
Dr. Malakudi, please allow her to share their presentation.
Now it says I would have to quit and come back. So let me quit and
Ma'am, we did, ma'am.
yes, ma'am, it's visible. No.
Medicine Vigyan Utsav. Hello.
கேக்குதா?
கேக்குது சார்.
Okay, fine, fine.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றேன்.
Thank you very much, and sorry for this hitch. Respected members of the Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, especially members Dr. Somashekar Hiramat, Dr. Kumar, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Nishat Fatima, Dr. Sendil Kumar, Professor Raman, TNCST, and participants. My very sincere greetings to all of you and a very happy National Technology Day. Without losing much time, let me straight away get into the topic allotted to me, future technologies in medicine, on this occasion of the Vigyan Utsav. Now, future technologies in medicine can be broadly classified into three areas. Area 1 will be related to patient care, whatever treatment that needs to be given, management of diseases, and management of patients. Area 2 will be related to research and development projects, especially translational research. And area 3 will be utilization of technology in imparting medical education and giving hands-on training. Medical sector saw the development of technology and the implementation of technology during the recent pandemic. During the COVID times, it was technology which helped diagnosis of several patients. Most of you would be aware that it was a kind of a catch-22 situation where the health sector personnel were not able to go near the patient once the patient was diagnosed with COVID-19 for fear of transmitting infection, and whatever diagnosis that required to be done was to be done with the help of technology. Imaging technology, radiographic technology were very rampantly used. Similarly, patients had to be kept in isolation, and patient care, including drug delivery, was to be done with the help of technological equipments. Patient empowerment is a new area which emerged during the pandemic. Patient empowerment will mean the patient gets into the decision-making process. It is not the doctor alone who is responsible for the treatment. It is not the doctor alone who would decide as to what treatment should be given, but then the patient is also empowered as to how he or she should be consulted, how he or she should be treated, and what kind of treatment should be given. So this kind of patient empowerment, which is a new zone, a new area, making the patient more powerful, emerged because of technological implementation during the pandemic times. Of course, as true in every other field. Educational tools, learning processes, evaluation processes, all of them saw the implementation of digital technology, artificial intelligence, and so on in the medical area too. Now, trying to go into the details of how technology would feature in future times, let us take specific areas and try and analyze them as to what exactly would happen. In the future times, as the introductory remarks indicated, these are the areas where there would be more emphasis in the medical sector. 3D printing technology, remote diagnosis. It is no longer necessary that the patient and the doctor will have to remain in the same place. Diagnosis is possible across the globe with remote technology. Patients can be made to wear certain implants, certain devices. They would be called the wearables. They could don them on their persona, and these wearables will do the job of monitoring the patient and also help them get the treatment. Electrocutes. These electrocutes are similar to implants, but then these will be neurally channelized, and they would be able to send in electrical impulses and electrical information so that even the neural system can be appropriately controlled and appropriately navigated. Of course, virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, computer vision with the aid of artificial intelligence, digital therapeutics are all areas which would see a kind of multiple expansion. Hold all these technology in an expansile fashion. One by one, these areas, healthcare, all of us are aware that robotics has already picked up. We do have quite a number of robotic centers around the world. And here are a few examples as to how robotics currently is in use and how would it be in future. Initially in the 1980s, robotics in medicine started with the robotic arm technology. A particular robotic arm got fitted into the general surgical design and started providing surgical assistance to areas which were very small, areas which were microscopically small, where the surgeon could not directly reach with his or her hand or with the instrument. Robotic arm technology provided access. Later on, from the 1990s, robotics has been used to perform repetitive high volume tasks. Repetitive tasks which were manually done were replaced by robotically performed repetitive tasks. The advantage is the technician or the technologist or the healthcare worker who will have to sit and do the job repeatedly could now be relieved of that pressure, and strategic planning could be involved, and the healthcare worker is left with more time to do strategic work, planning work, research work, and so on, not necessarily waste time on repetitive work. Similarly, robotics later on in the last 20 years has been utilized to streamline workflows, especially when there are larger centers or when the procedure on the patient involves longer duration, and has also helped reduce risk factors. This is what is robotics in practice as of now. And what has robotics in store for us in future. Surgical robotics will evolve as a specialty. It will evolve to make greater use of artificial intelligence aided computer vision, which means when a surgeon is operating, robotics with the computer vision will be able to provide information to the surgeon. Here is a nerve tissue, please do not touch it. Like when they access microscopically small areas, there is always a risk of touching or damaging some tissue which should not be touched. Now, artificial intelligence aided computer vision will come in handy. For example, the surgeon can easily avoid nervous tissue during procedures. High definition vision will also provide enhanced performance, accessing minuscule areas, accessing nano areas will become easier, and that would enhance the performance of the surgeon. Minimally invasive procedures can be directly supported by the robots. The robots themselves can perform minimally invasive procedures. Similarly, let us imagine a surgeon is performing a surgery. The surgeon's job gets over only when he sutures the skin and closes the wound. But with robotics in hand, it is possible that those smaller areas, which are called the sub-procedures can be left to the robo. The surgeon can concentrate on the main area, the master area, where there is more concentration required, more expertise required, and then the smaller jobs, repetitive jobs, routine jobs like closing a wound can be given to the robo, of course, under the guidance of the surgeon's eye. And robotics, as far as surgical robotics is concerned, will also have a key role to play in surgeon and surgical education. Simulation platforms with VR and AR can be made available. So before performing a very tough surgery, a very complicated surgery, it is possible to try it out on the simulation platform, thereby reducing the risk for the patient. Customize and monitor patients with chronic diseases. The robots can be customized, and people with chronic diseases where no person needs to spend that much of time. You don't have to have a monitoring person who would sit with the patient for 16 hours or 18 hours, but then the robots can be taught to monitor, and whatever alert information that requires to come to the doctor would come immediately. Therapeutics will become intelligent, what drug to be given, at what point to given, and what kind of allergic reaction sets in. The moment an allergic reaction or a hyperreaction sets in, robots will be able to detect and thereby reduce adverse reactions. For elderly patients, for chronically ill patients, for people who require some kind of company, robots can be trained to become social robots, and social engagement can be given. Autonomous mobile robots and sanitizing robots, service robots are already available, and these are currently being used in certain centers across the world. As far as the medical and we've already seen monitoring, social engagement, and AMRs will be of explicit use and will come to occupy a major role. Modular robotics will also get enhanced. Therapeutic robots will help with rehabilitation after paralysis. Let us imagine somebody is paralyzed, and after paralysis, rehabilitation is required. It is possible to have an exoskeleton, a kind of a robot which will be fitted to the exterior of the individual, and these exoskeleton robots will perform the neural transmission functions and electrical transmission functions and help the individual rehabilitate better. So whenever there is a traumatic brain injury or neural impairment, these therapeutic robots can be put in place. Somebody is confined to the wheelchair. Wheelchair mounted robotic arms can help the patient navigate better and also to perform daily tasks. No assistant is required, and that will spare a lot of human resource. Robots with artificial intelligence and depth cameras, they can monitor how a patient looks like. Let us say somebody with paralysis, that somebody will have to perform 2 hours of physiotherapy in the morning and 2 hours of physiotherapy in the evening, but then left alone, he or she may not do that and needs to be continuously monitored. It's difficult for someone else to be continuously monitoring, because even that someone will go in for some kind of exhaustion. So in such cases, depth camera robots can be made to monitor. So whenever the patient is in the correct form, doing the physical exercise or doing the physiotherapy, the robot would keep monitoring them. The moment the form kind of alters, not performing, I would have to do this movement, I'm not doing this movement, I'm only doing this much, the robot will alert, and prescribed exercises, prescribed degrees of motion, prescribed positions can all be tracked, and the patient can be made to do, because the robot itself will provide coaching and encouragement. Robotics, AMR, which we have already seen. So light detection and ranging systems can be added on to these AMRs. Patient examination will become easy. The patient can remain in the examination chamber and the doctor could be somewhere else. But with the mapping capability of LiDAR systems, it is easy to diagnose and come to a conclusion. Similarly, you don't require a specialist to be available in all the hospitals all the time. It is enough if the AMR is taken along, the AMR goes along with a paramedic. The paramedic goes to the patient's room. The specialist is sitting elsewhere and controlling the AMR. It is possible that the specialist will be able to do an on-screen consultation and get the appropriate diagnosis. Service and social robots, they are friendly robots. They reduce the caregiver workload. Somebody need not be all the time sitting, and the patient's emotional well-being is also maintained, because these friendly robots will provide social interaction and monitor, same time kind of encourage the patient. In a hospital setup, these social robots can offer directions to visitors and patients attenders inside the hospital environment itself. Now, what about virtual reality in patient and healthcare? Virtual reality in practice, surgeons are being trained using VR, and a global study reveals surgeons who have been traditionally trained perform much less than surgeons who have been trained using virtual reality. With treatments, virtual reality is becoming more and more accurate, more and more focused, and faster treatment can also be given. And even now, in some countries, expectant mothers are made to wear some kind of headsets which are VR tuned or some kind of a gadget. So the expectant mother experiences serene landscapes. She is able to see a beautiful scenario in front of her. So she undergoes a pleasant experience that reduces the labor pain, that reduces her agony, but then enhances her ecstasy and enhances her happiness. And childbirth itself is a joyous experience at that level. Now, with this basic model of VR in labor, there could be VR implementation in other situations of agony, and psychiatric illnesses can be cured much better. What would be virtual reality in future? As I told you, treating psychiatric conditions that would become easier. Difficult surgeries which are currently being told not possible to do, not very easy to do, it is 50-50, win-win. Such surgeries can be attempted with adequate simulated training. Pre-operative surgical planning will be specific. In general, treatment will be more matched to the patient, more matched to the situation, and not a very general kind of a treatment, and would have a focus, a better focus. Organ-computer interface mechanisms in medicine. A few examples of organ-computer interface mechanisms. Right now, these interfaces are the implants. There are implanted pacemakers, implanted defibrillators, several implants. The implants are kept in, the chips are kept in, and they compensate for the deficiency that the patient has. However, in this technology, the recent development is the brain-computer interface, or the BCI. BCI will make retinal implants available, which means the eye can see better. You can have an accurate vision instead of a compromised vision. Cochlear implants, wherein you'll be able to hear better, not plainly hear better, but also become a kind of multilingual expert, and the balance of the individual would be kept at the required level. Memory chips can go in so that the individual's performance is also enhanced. Brain waves in future will be used to activate door systems. If only the BCI comes into full force, you can imagine you don't have to have a key system at all. You just get down from the car, your brain wave itself is activated. The brain wave says, come on, my door open. The door system can open. You can type into a laptop, and you can even communicate with others without opening your mouth. So brain waves are being tapped now, and if BCI comes into complete enhancement, all these would become possible. Now, interfaces in future will lead to neuro prosthetics. Some of the neuro prosthetics we have already seen, retinal implants and memory chips, but more and more neuro prosthetics would become better. And diseases like Parkinson's, where the neuronal pathway is jeopardized, the neuronal pathway can be activated by sending in electric impulses. And that is what we saw in an earlier slide as electrocuticles. Electrocuticles will be the mechanism where electrical impulses would be sent in to activate neuronal circuits and neuronal pathways. So slow learners will become fast learners. Children with autism can be treated better, and all lacunae and deficiencies could be neurally controlled and activated. Brain implant therapies. Neural tissue itself can be implanted. If so, neural tissue damage can be easily handled, and paralysis and traumatic injuries would become easily treatable. Chips can be kept in association with exoskeleton also. We've already seen in AMR, there can be exoskeletons. But then an internal chip in association with an exoskeleton will be a wonder and a miracle cure in future. Similarly, cyborgs can be developed. There is some little work going on in the field of cyborgs. Cyborgs are those artificial individuals. Currently, the definition says cyborgs are artificial individuals who have something fitted on to make them look cooler and smarter. But then we don't have to go in for artificial individuals. There can be normal human beings who may become cyborgs with implants and devices to make their body look different and smarter. In fact, some part of this is already there in the name of cosmetic surgery and cosmetology. There are people who have implants which make them appear better for the screen or for the media. However, all these devices would become largely available, and they would accord a kind of a superhuman power. If there is a hearing aid with AI, the individual's hearing power would be enhanced to that level that you would be fooled to think that person is able to hear something even from the heavens. There can be earbuds with multilingual outputs, so the individual becomes a multilingual person or a polyglot just because the earbud is studded with a lot of AI information. 3D printing technology. As of now, 3D printing is in practice. Some years ago, the Food and Drug Administration of the United States gave permission for a particular drug called Spretam. Now, Spretam is a drug which is used in some kind of neural disorders. What is the advantage of 3D printing with the drug? Why should it be 3D printed? Now, sometimes when the drug is manufactured, drug is kind of packed. You would know because of the molecular system, the assimilation of the drug may be slow. The advantage of 3D printing is the powdered drug. In the case of Spretam, that is what has happened. The drug had been powdered and the powdered drug is printed, making it easier to get dissolved within the system and to get absorbed and assimilated. So similarly, there could be drugs which would be 3D printed. Pediatric medicines can be made more attractive, meaning pediatric treatment and pediatric care, geriatric treatment and geriatric care will become much more appreciable and enjoyable. Biomarkers. Currently, biomarkers are being used for diagnosis and treatment. But then with future technology, there can be newer biomarkers. One biomarker which is being thought of and some work as of now currently going on is vocal biomarker. What the rest of the world calls as voice recognition technology is being called vocal biomarker in the medical field. This may revolutionize diagnosis and treatment. Let us imagine somebody with some disease. The way the individual speaks, to some extent, if you think of olden times, the way the individual speaks, the way he or she is able to utter a particular word, the doctors were able to recognize and find out if there was some illness or not. But with voice recognition technology, this will become even more astute. In other words, if there is a kind of a heart attack, the heart attack could be even a silent heart attack. Something like the coronary artery disease, CAD, even that can be detected by the vocal biomarker, not because there is emotion in the voice, but even without an emotion, even when the individual does not realize any pain or discomfort, the minute vibrations, the minute modifications which are caused in the tissue can be transmitted to the vocal cord, and from there the vocal biomarker will be able to give information. So vocal biomarker can also be used in prescriptions. The doctor, the patient, but then there can be a vocal biomarker in between which will receive the correct information and make the prescription much more easier for the patient and also take part in drug administration. Digital tattoos will also serve as biomarkers. What are these digital tattoos? Tattoos are made, digital tattoos are made to be worn by the patient. So these tattoos will be able to find out if the patient undergoes any difficulty, arrhythmias, premature babies, where the babies will not be able to explicitly express what's happening. Cardiac and other activities in such premature babies can be easily detected with the digital tattoos. Sleep disorders. Sleep disorder is always a kind of an enigmatic phenomenon. But then treating sleep disorders will become easier with digital tattoos, and other activities can also be sensed. So digital tattoos will act as sensors. Now, these are all with patient care and research areas. What about future technologies in medical education? Already we have certain examples. Centers, even in our country, are utilizing VR, AR, and mixed reality for learning purposes. The human body is a complex phenomenon. And when you look at the human body and learn, you are able to see things. But seeing things with the naked eye, seeing things under the microscope, they do have their limitations. That is where VR and mixed reality would come in handy, and learning process would become complete. In other words, the medical learner will be able to learn every bit of the intricacy of the human body, and that would help in future medical care. Hands-on training on simulation models, which we have already seen in surgical robotics. It is easy to create simulation models for difficult surgeries, for procedures, for even smaller procedures, but make it very effective. Equipment-based and emotion-based strategies can be worked on. It is not plain technology. When we talk about technology, it is not plain utilization of technical information. The technical information can be navigated better to accord counseling, to accord care, to accord concern, and give patient comfort. So these are all some areas where future technology would make the health sector blossom more and more. In other words, as future expands, as technology expands, as the medical world expands, it will be expansion of comfort, expansion of easy access, and expansion of better care. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you wholeheartedly for your presence in spite of your busy schedule. Thanks for providing insights on robots integrated with artificial intelligence in healthcare. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Next, I invite Dr. Somashekar, who is working as an associate professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, to deliver his presentation on current and future research perspectives for intelligent manufacturing system in Industry 4.0.
Thank you. Shall I share my slides now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm audible, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My slides are visible now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Now I am having 20 minutes time.
Sir, you take your own time, sir.
No. 20 minutes, sir. 20 minutes.
Yeah,
20 minutes.
I
Another
take.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Only I made the 13 slides, okay,
Okay.
which will give the importance on the intelligent manufacturing system, what we can call it as a industry 4.0. Okay, it is a current technology used in the industry to manufacture varieties of products. Okay, quickly I will go through it. This is my glimpse of presentation. Let us will begin with our preamble of my talk. Okay, industrial revolution, how it is taking place from industry 1.2 to 4.0. Go to evolution. The key features in the smart manufacturing, major challenges, roadmap. I will tell you how to go about it now. All the countries are planning to move towards the industry 4.0 now. And finally, I will conclude my talk.
Sorry, sir, I'm not
Uh,
able to see your slides.
Oh, slides are not able to see? Okay. Then I
It
share my
says
full slide.
you're starting to share content.
No, content only I did that. 1 second.
Dr. Malarkodi, are you able to see the slides?
Obviously, the slides are
Everybody's
not moving, I
No,
think.
it's not coming. Just
No, the slides are not visible. It is only the general. Sir, what the screen that is visible is your, layout where everything is there. That is visible.
Okay, 1 second. I will share my slides again. It is the entire screen, correct? Entire screen. Allow. Now is it okay?
No, sir, even now it is that your entire screen comes where, you can see every name. Like generally when we see in the virtual
Okay.
meeting, you
Now
can see all
my
participants'
PPTs are
names,
not
right?
seen,
That
correct?
layout is seen.
Okay, my PPTs are not seen, correct?
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
slides,
correct.
you'll have to, I think your slides are not open. Probably,
No,
you
open.
have to open your
1 second.
presentation.
No, I did that. 1 second, I will do it. Okay. Share my slides. Your screen. Entire screen, correct? It is like generally we'll do like this. 1 second. What is the name? 1 second. Share.
After selecting share, you need to select the screen 1.
Oh, screen 1 or entire screen?
Screen 1.
Screen 1 I am not having. Select a window or a screen. No. It is only entire screen is there. 1 second. Now we'll see. Not seen?
No, sir.
No.
Can you select the PPT?
PPT is open now in my screen.
No, sir, it is not visible.
Not visible. 1 second.
So after selecting screen 1, you need to select the PPT. What we are seeing is WebEx application. We are able to see only the WebEx application, not your PPT.
No, look here. Now it is a share screen is there down, correct?
Yeah.
Down button.
Yeah.
If I click this, then it is a screen and application is there. We have to click screen, correct? Application you have to click.
No, sir, not application. Other applications.
Screen only. Screen only you have to click.
Yes, sir.
Then they are meeting this thing entire screen. Correct. It is what I am doing. I am correct.
Or select other applications. Is there a option called other applications?
Other application is there. Yeah.
Yeah. Please select that.
1 second. Share. Applications are there. Here also. Yeah. Here.
Entire screening, you just to open the PPT.
Yeah, that I am doing, sir. Now we'll see.
No, it
No?
is not presenting.
Sir, actually, you select the correct way, sir. Entire screen, then you just open it your PPT, sir.
That's I know, sir. That I am doing now. Please look here, entire screen. Allow. Okay. Then why it is not coming?
It is presenting.
No, it is not possible to see. Please see.
Your screening.
1 second.
So we are able to see your screen now. All you have to do is go and click on the PPT now.
No, PPT is opened only. That's what I'm telling you. My PPT is opened.
Sir, close it and then again open, sir.
Okay. That's what I'm telling you. 1 second. Sorry.
Sir, what system is yours? Is it a Mac?
No. This is our HP only. HP laptop. Mine is an HP laptop.
Okay. Because if it's a Mac, then you'll have to go to the system preference and open it out. Sometimes.
1 second. What will do? ಯಾವ್ದು click ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಏನು click ಮಾಡಿ sorry.
PPT open
You just open the PPT, sir.
PPT is open now. That's not telling. 1 second.
And you share the PPT.
No, that's not telling. Look here. There are down buttons. I'm seeing you, sir. Srinivasan, sir. Now I'm seeing you. Now, hope you are also seeing me. Correct? Now I'm share button. I'm clicking down. Okay. There already started sharing now. Share.
Presenting அப்படின்னு ஒரு அதை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க.
Presenting no just click that.
அது entire screen sir. அதுல entire screen பண்ணாலும் PPT open பண்ணலாம்.
Entire screen only I did. I think madam is also. I'm seeing a madam screen. I think madam will stop sharing. Shall I send to you, Srinivasan sir? Now I will share from there. It will take 1 minute.
Okay, sir.
That is good, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, can you share your PPT to our official website?
Yeah, I will do it immediately. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
sir. Thank you.
that
You can share.
ms dot this thing, ms dot transit at nic.in.
Yes, sir.
I'm sharing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm sharing my slide. Can you please see now? Only 1 minute. Only 13 slides are there. No need to worry. Okay. Hope it reached to you now. See it. Hope reached with this.
Sir, Somsekhar sir.
Yeah.
I am calling video. You just to show this thing through video. Our people will guide you.
Yeah. No, it is in to share, screen share. No.
Sir, can you take your...
Now you will see.
So same way it is coming, sir. Can you take my phone video call? You just take. I am calling you.
Yeah. Or else it reached to you, sir. Reached to you now. I sent our my PPT to their mail. It is a very small file. Can you please open from your side?
Yeah, you can send it, sir. You can send it.
No, I already sent.
What time your flight? Shall we go for another person and third?
Yeah, that you will do.
You have enough time. You have enough time today.
Yeah.
You are going to Bangalore.
Yeah. Now what you will do? You will take one more. Meanwhile, I sent.
Yeah.
Whether you received that? No. Whether you received that? Already sent to you. TNSCST.
Yeah, ms.TNSCST.
Yeah, I sent to you already. I sent to you.
Not yet it comes, sir. Please, you send once again. Let us allow to Dr.
Yeah, that's okay. No problem.
That's the right thing. We can allow.
Then I will, later, after her thing, I will do it. Okay? No need to worry.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Malarkodi, you please.
Sorry for inconvenience.
Yeah.
Now I invite Dr. J. Kumar, the Vice Chancellor, Madurai Kamarajar University, to deliver his presentation on future technologies in materials.
Our ready இருக்காருன்னு பார்த்துட்டீங்களா? Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Kumar sir. Sir, Dr. Kumar sir. Or I think now Madam is ready, it seems. Once. Yes.
I'm ready to go. Can I present?
Yeah. Malarkodi, please call Madam, then we will call. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Nisha Fatima, Senior Principal Scientist, Central Leather Research Institute, Adaya, Chennai, is going to deliver her speech on sustainability and circular economy with respect to leather and footwear industry.
Thank you, Dr. Malakuri. I'm just sharing my screen now. Just please let me know if you're able to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible? My slides are visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. Thank you. All right. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. As we are celebrating our country's Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, CSR CLRI is also stepping into its 75th year of existence. So it gives me immense pleasure to talk to you on a title, Sustainability and Circular Economy with regards to leather and footwear industry. Well, the title of this theme is Future Technologies. Then why am I talking about sustainability and circular economy? Well, it turns out that any future technology for any application needs to have the fundamentals of sustainability. Why? Because the very definition of sustainability is to meet one's need without compromising the future generation's needs. And one of the ways to attain that is circular economy. Now, before going on to the sustainability and circular economy with respect to leather and footwear, I just picked up a few cartoons from the internet on this topic. We could see here this man saying, what difference does a warming of just about 1.5 degrees centigrade makes anyways? Well, it does melt the ice. So what if the ice melts? Well, it does affect and impact these animals who are having ice as their land surface. And one of the particular cartoon which caught my attention was this man with a placard who says, someone do something about climate change. And he's looking at this little one and asking, what are you looking at? And this little girl replies, someone. That's pretty loaded statement. So we asked ourselves this question with respect to sustainability. Can one man's trash be another man's wealth? And what another example can I give than the leather itself? Why? Because skin, the raw material for leather, is actually a waste of meat industry. So leather is truly a value-added product, and that is itself a sustainable material. Now, just to tell you what is the value addition that we bring about, this sector in our country is worth about 15.68 billion US dollars with an export of about 3.68 billion US dollars and a domestic market of about 12 billion US dollars. And in terms of export, our country is the second largest exporter of leather garments, third largest exporter of saddlery and harness, fourth largest exporter of leather goods, and India produces about 2 billion pairs of footwear. And this is one sector which has very high employment potential, especially with regards to women. Now, having said that, it is also imperative for me to tell you that while leather is a byproduct of meat industry, during the process of conversion of the skin into leather, only about, if you take like say 1 ton of raw hides and skins, we convert only about 200 to 250 grams into the actual leather. The rest is wasted, and which is about 700 to 750 kilograms if you take 1 ton. So naturally, these are the different ways which are generated. Now, what are we going to do with these ways? So I'm going to present to you in the next few minutes what is the CSR CLRI's endeavor in meeting the sustainable development goals. Now, one of the approaches was to convert the solid waste to treat the liquid waste. Well, it sounds like a jargon. If you talk about liquid waste, two major liquid waste I'm going to take today, the dyes and the chromium 6. Well, dyes are not specific only for leather industry. In fact, it is the textile industry which uses the dyes the most. And you could see here that about 1 to 15% of the dye is actually lost during this process, and it ends up as a pollutant. When you come to the chromium 6 story, there are two stable forms of chromium 6, namely the 3 and 6. And 3 is in fact, Dr. Sudha Seshan will definitely agree, is one of the, it plays a very important role in glucose, lipid and protein metabolism. It is prescribed as a diabetic, chromium fortified tablets for diabetic people. However, the chromium 6 is classified as a group 1 carcinogen, and it has its permissible limits practically nil. Now, as I said, we had an approach of treating a solid waste with the liquid waste, compounding both the problems, and to see if we can get a solution. Well, this sounds like against the mathematical principles. Well, how we achieved it? This fleshing waste or any leather waste which comes out is nothing but a protein. And we all know proteins do have a lot of functional groups. And the collagen protein which we're talking about has this carboxyl group, which we complexed with an ion and made a cationic ion center, which in turn can absorb the anionic chromates from the wastewater. So we were able to achieve an efficiency of about 95 and above to remove both the dyes as well as chromium 6. But have we solved the problem? No, because we took the solid waste to treat the liquid waste. Now the liquid waste is clear, but the solid waste now has both the dye and the chromium 6 present in it. So what we did was we used it as a reducing agent, because proteins are known to be good reducing agent. We used it as a reducing agent for manufacture of BCS, which is one of the tanning salts used in leather industry. And lo and behold, we were able to provide a solution, a holistic solution, by combining two ways. And one of the other approaches where we looked at to manage the solid waste was to use it to reduce the noise pollution. Well, we all talk about this air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, but one pollution which does impact human beings and animals alike is the noise pollution. In fact, exposure to noise is well known to lead to sleep disturbances and psychological harms. There are definitely many sound absorbing materials available in the market, but the synthetic ones which people use lead to greenhouse gases. Hence, there is a need to develop a eco-friendly sound absorbing material. So what we did was convert this solid waste through nanotechnological interventions into nanofibers through a process called as electrospinning, develop layers of them, and that has been used as a sound absorbing acoustic material. So one more value addition. Another approach to treat this solid waste was to convert it into rubber soles. Imagine a solid waste back as a shoe sole. What we did was, it turns out that during your rubber compounding, carbon black is usually used as a filler material because it provides the abrasion resistance. So what we did, we converted this fleshing waste into an activated carbon and used that as a filler instead of carbon black for this rubber compounding, and we used it as soles for shoes, thereby getting 100% value addition. Well, this is typically a waste to wealth concept. It has dual benefits, not only the benefits to the tanneries or to the tanner, because he is going to obviously overcome the disposal problem of the fleshing waste, but he is also going to gain revenue out of it. See, one is actually trying to get rid of a waste, other is actually getting money out of that waste. And the benefits for the rubber industry is it avoids the use of the carcinogenic filler, which is the carbon black. And it does not, these soles don't leave any imprint on the carpets. In fact, many a times when you walk with shoes, in corporate worlds, when all the floors are all carpeted, they leave an imprint. Whereas this black does not leave an imprint, and it gives a good vulcanized rubber. And I don't know if you could see it from this picture, but the black which you get from this material is really black. And it was also covered in the recent newspaper. There is another approach also for treating this solid waste as composite sheets. In fact, these sheets can be used anywhere. We just used it because we wanted to show it as an application in leather industry itself. Use it as a composite sheet, for making this garment where you insert them to get a stiffener effect. So thus we found several, I just, for want of time, presented only a few of them. like the rubber soles as an insert in the garments, as a sound absorbing microfibers, and as well as a tanning agent. But there are several value added products which can be generated from the waste which is emanating from the leather industry. Now, this is our endeavor with respect to managing the solid waste. Now, we also have, as I said, a dream to make sure that there is zero discharge completely. So, we don't take waste as a waste. We treat it as a new raw material. The way, the skin was treated as a raw material for leather making, we treat every waste which comes out of the leather industry as a raw material for something else, some other value added product. So if you shift from a linear to circular economy, that is where you get a closed loop of raw materials, components and products which don't lose their value, or even if they do, they lose it in very, very little as possible. And renewable energy sources are used, and system thinking at its core leads to zero waste concept. Now, this is with regards to the solid waste. We are also working, CLRA's endeavor is also to intervene in the process technologies. That is, we do know that leather processing involves usage of large amount of water. Now, assume there's a situation there is no water, or if you have to go for another alternative solvents. So we were looking at such futuristic needs as well, and we came up with this ionic liquids, which are actually, in fact, called as the designer solvents. We looked and explored its possibility in different stages of leather processing. Some promising leads have already been obtained. Not only with respect to the process technology, we are also into products. For instance, we are developing certain chemicals to address the needs of the soldiers who are placed at the Siachen Glacier. I mean, I'm talking about altitudes which are about 13,000 to 22,000, where you have 1,000 centimeters of snowfall and temperatures drop to minus 50 degrees centigrade. It is practically inhabitable conditions, yet our Indian Army defends us sitting there. So to make their lives a little comfortable, we are trying to make some products, especially the gloves, which the soldier wears, which will give him extra warmth than what it is currently, the material which is imported. So to make India Atmanirbhar, towards the dream of Atmanirbharta, we are developing also products in those lines. So what is the take-home message?
Maybe I should just quit and go back to making noodles.
I love showing cartoons.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. Is a saying. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
That is a very important message. We don't have to worry about the past actually, because you can't undo it. We need to be concerned about the future, because whatever we plan for the future should happen now, the present. So all those future technologies which we intend to use need to have a present focus, present action to make them sustainable. So thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you, Dr. Srinivasan and Professor V. Ramasamy, for giving me this opportunity. I end with this motto of CLRI, which is doing better today than yesterday, forever, in our 75th year of celebrations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I thank wholeheartedly for your presence and inspiring presentation on sustainability and circular economy with respective to leather and footwear industry, ma'am. We are grateful for sharing your valuable thoughts and information. Thanks for sharing your knowledge on converting tannery waste into useful components, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, I invite Dr. J. Kumar, the Vice Chancellor, Madurai Kamarajar University, to deliver his presentation on future technologies in materials.
Thank you. And am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So I will now share my slides. And I thank every one of you for organizing this, in particular Dr. Srinivasan, Dr. Ramsamy, and others. I was around here at 12 o'clock, but maybe you didn't locate my audibility. So basically, I am a material scientist, as was presented by Dr. Srinivasan. I've been working in Anna University for more than 33 years. I'd had a lot of experience abroad in Italy, Japan, US, etc., to work on various aspects of materials. My focus had been on crystal growth, which is a very specialized way of handling materials. The first principles of crystal growth is to handle materials in the best solid state. We have around us all types of materials, solid, liquid, and gas. Each one of them are very important for our day-to-day life. As all of you know, without oxygen, we don't exist. And with carbon dioxide, the plants take up the so-called environmental problems. And similarly, with water, we live and we have our day-to-day sustainability. But on the other side, we also have other liquids which are not conducive for our health. Similarly, we have solids which are used for various applications, including the communication systems which we are using, like a computer or the mobile phones, and any form of materials which are used in solid state is mostly welcome for various applications. And with modern day technology, we are able to functionalize these materials. For example, if you have a material which is like sand, which is known as silicon dioxide, but if you are able to crystallize the silicon dioxide, you can use as quartz in your watches. That's how you have watches which works without the use of the winding mechanism. Earlier, we had watches which had to be wound, or a spring was there, and so we had to wind it every day, and then we try to provide the dynamism. But now we use a small battery, and the battery triggers a piezoelectric crystal, and that piezoelectric crystal can essentially be silicon dioxide, which is nothing but raw sand. And the same silicon dioxide can be properly synthesized as a silicon, which means you remove the oxygen and then you try to use it as a silicon, and that silicon is being used to manufacture integrated circuits for computers as well as for solar cells and various kinds of devices which are used in your day-to-day applications. Similarly, we have a lot of materials which are used for different applications, but I would like to focus on materials in the perspective of their conductive property. So as we all use on a day-to-day basis, a simple electrical switch which is connected by a wire, and that wire has an inner core which is a metal, which can be copper or aluminum. And similarly, we have an outer sheath which is a polymer, which can be very protective for any voltage dissipation. And so we have on one hand a conducting core, which is in the inner part, and then we have an outer sheath, which is an insulating material. This is where R&D is very important, and then we also try to understand how to effectively functionalize the material. In olden days, we used copper cables, and then we had a rubber sheath around it, but now we have lighter copper with correspondingly a good polymer, which is functionalized in a sense to make it insulating. In about 5 years ago, people also invented what is called as conducting polymers. So you can have an inner core, which can be a polymer itself, which can be conducting, and then the outer core can be a normal polymer, which is insulating. So that way we can have a conductor for a given application and a non-conductor for the insulating activity. What is this all about? in today's world, why do we talk about all these future technologies and what is the progress we have made in materials? For example, we have made a big progress from, let's say, something like early part of 2000 to this 2022. We have found new materials or materials which has been functionalized to make them applicable, for example, the lighting system. We are all very familiar with the lighting which we have at our home, which can be a tube light, which can be a normal incandescent bulb, or what is known as a CFL, which means a compact fluorescent lamp. So in any one of these cases, we still have, yeah, I know the slides are not visible. There is a small technical problem there. Sort it out. So we'll quickly sort it out in 2 minutes. Yeah, now it is sorted out. Okay. So now you can see the slides and the first one. Yeah. Are you sharing the screen? Screen share over that. So the present day's technology provides you with lighting systems which are more efficient. That is how we call it as a white LED based lighting. And we also have the mobile phones, which has become more and more popular for our day-to-day F5 highlight. Okay. So this is a very simple motivation for doing some materials which are for the future. For example, the challenges are to accelerate the applied research and then not just solving individual or specific technical problems. We have to work on a number of sectors which operate in harsh service conditions. Next one. So, yeah. So there are a lot of ambitions for feasible metrics, and there are technical pathways needed to achieve. One of the technical pathways is to do a targeted R&D. Earlier we did R&D for the individual's interest. Now we have targeted R&D, and there are some gaps. Industries won't invest in shared infrastructure. Novel materials have high technical uncertainty, so this limits investment in scale up, and then there is a lack of confidence in modeling or predictive simulation. But now we are slowly evolving new materials or materials which can withstand very high temperatures and pressures. And also we look at it from the price point. And so these are some of the metrics to relate it to success. So next one. Fundamentally, we have to look at clean energy. It's the talk of the day, and it is the need of the society. So we look into the economical aspects. Then we also look into the environmental issues. Basically, we have to also consider the security point because of various aspects of security for a given country. So the energy has to be self-reliant, and it should be stable, and it should have a diverse energy supply. For example, in the state of Tamil Nadu, we are one of the pioneering states in terms of wind energy. We produce large amount of wind energy, and we are one of the very pioneering states in terms of having different sources of energy, including hydro energy or water supported energy systems. We have the lignite or the thermal energy. We have a nuclear energy plant in 2 places. We have very strong investments going on in solar or photovoltaic energy. So these are some of the very important disciplines as a state we are moving forward. Next one. Next one. Okay, so in clean energy manufacturing initiative, as I said, nuclear energy stands tall because there is a dependability of the nuclear energy. So when there are heavy industries which are known as energy hungry, you can take up the nuclear energy, and oil and gas is still what is known as a fossil energy, though it is limited resources. We are evolving some new scientific understanding, and therefore we are into the process of this manufacturing. As you can see in the PowerPoint, there are solar, geothermal, wind and water. And in the advanced manufacturing, we can involve buildings of varying nature, from houses to huge corporates. And similarly, in the vehicle system, we are now moving forward to e-vehicle, which is also important for transportation. The next one. So the advanced manufacturing strategies as visualized by US, which is one of the very leading nations, at least in the last 5 years, has been to adapt to technologies with partnerships, which is known as Advanced Manufacturing Partnership. And you can see National Science Foundation, like our DST and other agencies, are one of the very serious funding agencies there, and they have what is known as DARPA, which is the defense related manufacturing systems. Yes, next one. So in the manufacturing technologies, which are very important for various considerations, the first fundamental in today's world is advanced sensors, controls, and modeling platforms. And naturally, if you see the process involved, it involves a lot of heating and then intensification. And then there should be a methodology to recover this waste heat, which is what is given as 0.3. And similarly, you can combine this heat and power and then flow the material through the industry for a sustainable manufacturing. On the right side, we have direct energy conversion materials, which are known as magnetocaloric or thermoelectric. We can have wide bandgap power electronics, which is one of my disciplines. Materials for our service conditions is added to those magnetoelectric or thermoelectric. And then we have a link on advanced materials and manufacturing. And now we are going into what is known as an additive manufacturing, which is also very popularly known as 3D printing in some sense. It doesn't limit to 3D printing. It can also be bringing in components from different dimensions, different functional aspects. For example, your mobile phone is considered to be one of the additive manufacturing technology, which doesn't have one component. It has a microphone, it has a camera, it has multiple functions in that. And then we need to adapt these materials with critical materials, materials which are like rare earth materials or materials which are country-specific resource. For example, lithium is going to be a big demand in the future as we are using a lot of lithium battery-based applications, including your mobile phones to the electric vehicles we have in mind. Next one. So I skip this. It's more about the manufacturing issues, so we can skip this. Next one. Yeah. Also, because of time, I will skip, but I will just try to highlight. There are on your right-hand side, you can see what is known as an advanced ultra supercritical steam turbines, which are needed for energy production, and similarly waste recuperators for harsh environments, irradiation-resistant nuclear fuel cladding. I can just cite one typical example. In this country, we had made a very significant progress. For example, there is an Institute of Plasma Research which has been working for a long time on monthly functional aspects of utilizing plasma processing. Plasma is the fourth state of matter. As we know, I told solid, liquid, and gas. Plasma is supposed to be a very high temperature environment, and it is considered to be a fourth state of matter. But that plasma can enable a heat treatment of a given surface. For example, in Himachal Pradesh, they used these hydro turbines, which was producing water-driven electrical energy. And in that, there was a lot of slush falling down. And that slush, with these huge turbine plates, they spoiled the plate angle and stuff like that. It also corroded the blades. And so that was brought to this IPR, Institute of Plasma Research, and they could efficiently handle that blades coated with the titanium dioxide, which can turn out to be a gold color depending on the composition of titanium dioxide and the crystal structure. It can be literally looking like a glittering gold plated stuff, but at the same time, it can prevent this kind of slush assisted corrosion. So these are the technologies which we have made as a progress, and it's rightly taken up as an initiative. These are the future material technologies where we have made very significant progress as a country. So it's very happy occasion to share that in a technology day, we have a technology power or a prowess, and there are a lot of other technology which has been made possible within India, and we are now trying to give this to the outside world as well. Next one. Okay, so in the materials, the design is very important and the synthesis or the process is very important. Then you can do it as what is called as a functionalization. You can effectively incorporate Yes, an added element. For example, graphene is one of the very popular materials as of today. Graphene is nothing but a layer of carbon. You use a pencil and you just put a dot on a sheet of paper, and then you use an adhesive tape, which we call as a scotch tape or a 3M tape. If you just put this tape on top of the dot, you put on a sheet of paper, and if you keep peeling, after some time you will not see the dot. That means you are removing layer by layer of these carbon atoms, and at some point of time you have a very thin layer of a couple of nanometers or less than a nanometer, and that is a layer which is called as a graphene because it forms a structure which is two-dimensional. And that layer, if you pump or if you just spray hydrogen on top of it, it can be called as graphene, which means it goes into the exchange structure. And that is what is known as a functionalization. Now, what is the fun in it? You have a carbon dot, you claim it is a two-dimensional layer, you spray hydrogen, and then you claim it is graphene. What is the ultimate purpose of it? For example, we are now moving into different considerations of energy systems. One of that can be hydrogen storage or hydrogen energy, and that hydrogen, which is can be produced in different forms from water through catalytic processes. You can just have that hydrogen release, and that released hydrogen can be made available or stored in these graphene layers, and then you can drive a car as a point of source of production of energy of hydrogen, and then you can drive your car. Because hydrogen cannot be made available in pumping stations like what we do with respect to petroleum products. So this is what is known as a functionalization of a material. And then you have process scale-up, which is demanded for different applications. For example, if you make a good material which is to be scaled up in large quantities or for large dimensions, these are challenges. It's not so simple to go from laboratory scale to marketable scale, etc. Next one. Yes. And it needs qualification, it needs data management. There are a lot of technology focus, and these focuses are in areas of mainly on energy. There are other aspects which I have not projected here, but you can see solar as a big challenge, and solar is being considered as one of the big alternatives. At least it can be an alternative as a point of source use. For example, you have a table or you have a home, and then in the home you can put solar panels on top of your home, and then you can use it during the daytime, which is known as a point of interest. And similarly, you have a floating body in water, and you can put a solar panel there. You cannot draw a cable from a nuclear power station and then provide energy on a water body or a floating station or on a staircase which is curved, etc. So at the point of need, you can provide solar energy, which is one of the very efficient ways of thinking in terms of utilizing an energy alternative. But nuclear energy will stand tall for a very long time because it can be given as a reliable source of power for those industries which are called as power hungry. And then we have, as a state, we are one of the proud states. I keep saying that we produce more than 5,000 megawatts of wind energy, and there are other alternatives like coal, and then we also use very largely the petroleum products as of today. Next. So this is once again into the manufacturing sector in US, just to give you a glimpse of how people project and how they consider various utilization process. You can see fuel, steam, electricity, applied energy are all at the top. This is the data with respect to 10 years back, but still this holds good as a pipeline of interactive communications or interactive processes like steam you use to produce something of applied energy. Similarly, you use electricity to drive the machines. You use fuel to drive other processes or make electrochemical processes, etc. Next one. So this is also in a deeper look into the energy manufacturing. As I said, there are process energy, there is a non-process energy, there is what is known as an on-site generation. As I told you, you can have hydrogen as an on-site production by spraying it, hydrogen or utilizing energy on a graphene sheet. Next one. This is also with respect to the kind of opportunities we have in chemicals, petroleum, pulp and paper, iron and steel. There are a lot of opportunities, and as a country, we are one of the best in terms of the resources which are available In all these domains, we have a very large resource of various chemicals. We have very good resource for petroleum refining. We have very good industries which cater to the paper manufacturing, and similarly iron and steel, we stand very tall. Yes, next one. So these are energy intensive or energy power hungry industries, including metal manufacturers or metal processing industries up to food processing industry. They are a little bit power hungry. Okay, next one. This is one of the important things which we all need to understand. These are the future technologies. Solar PV cell is already in the market in different forms, but we are trying to make a lot of progress. The technology which was based on silicon had an output efficiency of 15% to 16%. The efficiency is calculated on a very simple equation, eta, which is equivalent to the light falling on this photovoltaic cells, and with respect to the energy, which is converted as electrical energy. So if you take a 1000-watt bulb and if you put 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter of a solar photovoltaic cell, like silicon, for example, then if it converts the 1000-watt illumination into 100 watts electrical energy, that's called as 10% energy. But now we have moved to 35 to 40% because the demand on solar PV cell is not only for terrestrial applications, it is more on so-called space missions. And in this sector, it is needed to be of very high efficiency. So we can go up to 35 to 40% efficiency. The other issue is the solar PV as of now is a very rigid platform of silicon or other materials. But people want to carry it in different places, like you want to walk on a mountain or you want to go on a holiday. You cannot have such power stations whenever you walk. So the other option is to have it on your backpack so that it can be on a curved surface or a non-uniform surface. You can even mount it on your building walls like an building integrated photovoltaics. That means you can generate some amount of energy with that light which is falling on your building surfaces. Not only at the rooftop, you can also put it as a hanging curtain on the windows or whatever you have as outer materials. That way you can produce a lot of energy. And another important area is the electric vehicle batteries. And there is a lot of process involved. I just skip, skip it. You can skip this also. Skip, go on. Yeah. So advanced manufacturing process is very important. Governments and universities pump a lot of energy, including the US. We also do a lot of research in the country on materials, R&D projects, R&D facilities. The government of India, through what is known as the DST or Department of Science and Technology, they are going to form a kind of environment which is termed as blue, which means if you have an university or an industry where there are unique facilities, they can be glued, like you paste a sheet of paper, you can apply a glue and then make it firm and then use it for a common environment. Like that, we can bring in more universities or institutions together, use the different facilities or different capabilities. The capacity building in terms of human resources can be augmented. And so this is one of the ways to progress. Next one. So technology assistance, technology development facilities, technology development projects are everywhere, including the US, because you take US as a role model in this kind of environment. Next one. So next one. So the technology assistance, research and development projects, shared R&D facility, as I said, DST has come up with a good idea that they will project as a blue scheme wherein you can club with industry, club with another institution, club with various facilities. Next one. So you can see some of the quick results which has been demonstrated. You can make in the top left, you can see a small hole drill with a very specific dimension. But you can see on that top left, the one picture which is on the right, the drilled hole is more precisely done because they have used an ultra-fast femtosecond pulse laser, which can eliminate any machining defects, particularly in fuel injection system. In fuel injection system, the efficiency of fuel injection is very critical, and so you can do it very effectively. And protective coating materials for what is known as high performance membranes, which are used from pulp to paper industry. Similarly, you can have a lightweight car door, which is what you see at the bottom, the magnesium die casting, which can give rise to very efficient 60% light car doors. And you can also use water stable protected lithium electrode, which is another important thing. Next one. I don't know how much time I have, but I will quickly run through and finish it within another 2 to 3 minutes. Next one. This is one unique thing which is important. There are a lot of rare earths, and people focus on some of these, which is very, very critical. So, like for example, neodymium, lithium are considered to be very challenging for the world. And there are also other requirements on nickel and, for example, cobalt, which are very important as not critical, but they are in large demand. Next one. So this is one area I'm very specifically interested as a researcher. I've been working on this wide bandgap, including gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, and currently work on gallium nitride, which is used in white light LEDs. And I also work on similar materials, which are combination of gallium nitride, aluminum nitride, indium nitride, where you can evolve more functional devices like UV emitting devices, which has been very popularly used in the pandemic period. The UV LEDs are very efficient in order to particularly control this COVID-19 propagation, and they have been using it to kind of clean the automobiles or even the aircrafts, because the cleaning mechanisms were not considered so effective by conventional cleaning process or disinfection process. Whereas if you run a robotic arm with a series of these UV LEDs, you can run inside an aircraft, and then that entire aircraft inner side will be illuminated, which will disinfect this particular COVID-19, because you can be wavelength specific in producing these LEDs using these advanced materials. That is where the technology is very, very important. That is where we have this proof of concept in enabling materials for a particular environment like even pandemic. Next one. So there are a lot of things which are very important. One is modeling and platforms for energy applications. Next one. So this is once again, we have to engage with the industry. We can't keep on talking about laboratory results. So the industries demand roll-to-roll processing. They don't want one-time results. They want something which is very dependable, marketable, and commercially successful. They also work on advanced sensors, controls. Many sensors are there. We have a lot of issues with respect to sensors. So there is a lot of curiosity for smart manufacturing also. Next. I think with the next few slides, can one of you tell me how much time I'm left? Really?
5 minutes, sir.
Okay. So accordingly, I can. So there are a lot of energy products. As I said, you see the wind energy turbines, which are very popular in the southern part of the state. We have these Pavifona panels, which are now housed as farms rather than just housed on rooftop for so-called household appliances. We are going to bring in new model designed cars, which are more energy efficient, which can be driven by electrical energy rather than the conventional petrol or fossil fuels. And then we have to be very competitive because it's going to be an industrial related process technology. So we have to link the industry with all these possibilities. Next one. So this is one of the prior requirements of an industrial environment. They may need corrosive, they may need to be protected in corrosive environment. For example, one challenge given to us just about 3 days ago, I had an interaction with the integral coach factory in Chennai. The chief electrical engineer said that there are interior coatings which can catch fire, though they coat something very specific with a steel body, which is the outer thing. in order to make it aesthetic and in order to make it functionally usable, they have to put a lot of devices inside the compartments. But those materials can catch fire and it can immediately, within 30 minutes, the entire train burns and the people inside can be fatal, or the accident can be very fatal. So they want to know how we can improve upon these coatings, which can be working under very high temperatures or temperatures like 120 or close to that. And then similarly, they want to know if there are other possibilities to minimize such kind of burnouts. And so we must keep working on newer materials, which can be a challenge to us. The next one. And they are also looking into designing of motors which are used for this electric driven vehicle systems, including the trains. And the motor weight has to be considerably reduced in order to make them efficient. So these are the challenges they want to focus as a university, as a research unit. Next one. So there are materials which are considered to be phase stable. For example, there are some materials which can change the phases, which means it can change from a crystal structure to another structure when you operate in the temperature regime between -20 to +50. And these are called as phase change materials. They can be used for certain type of environment. For example, if you want to cool a given hot environment like ours, then you pump a lot of refrigerant in order to maintain the temperature. Instead of pumping a refrigerant, if you have a phase change material, that material can absorb heat at 40 degrees and thereby maintain the room to be a little cooler than 40 degrees. This is one aspect. The vice versa can also be thought. If there is a cold climate, the phase change material will absorb that so-called cold climate, and the bacteria or some such material inside, including phase change materials, when they receive this cold environment, they absorb the type of cooled environment, and then they multiply. There are some biological materials which can multiply only at cool temperatures, like at below zero, they start producing, or reproductive mechanisms work. And when they do the reproductive mechanisms, they release a lot of heat, and that heat can keep your home or your room warm. So these are very interesting advances in materials. And we also have advanced alloys, advanced surfaces. For example, we could not mix certain types of materials. If you have an element A and B, this will form only as AB with a stoichiometric ratio of 1:1. But if you are looking for a hardened material, or if you are looking for a very lightweight material, you cannot have an AB with a stoichiometry of 1:1. You may need something like 1:2 or 2:3, something like this. So these are known as advanced alloys, particularly in metallurgical terms, and they can be made with process techniques like frictional stir welding, which means you apply a very large amount of friction, and when you do that friction, that materials can be joined as A1, B2 or B3 and A4. So those things are very possible. Next one. Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, I have finished.
Thank you, sir.
Thank everybody for this.
Our sincere thanks for your highly informative presentation. We are thankful for your time and effort you took to share your thoughts and knowledge with us, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now I invite Dr. Somashekar, Associate Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, to deliver his presentation on current and future research perspectives for intelligent manufacturing system in Industry 4.0. Sir.
Madam Ji, now my slides are visible?
Yes, sir.
No. Slides are visible?
Yes, sir. Your slides are
Go
visible.
for display mode, sir.
Display mode only I am going now.
Yeah. It is good. Very well. Yes.
No, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Extremely sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Previously, I am in the house now. Just now, I moved to the lab. Okay. I am with my research scholar Deepak Sharma. Okay. I joined with his ID. Kindly excuse me for that. Okay.
No, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me for the talk now. Today, I will deliver, just a glimpse on current and future research perspective for intelligent manufacturing system in Industry 4.0. Slides are not moving. 1 second. This is my glimpse of my presentation. Let us begin our talk with preamble of the talk, and then industrial revolution and its phases, and IoT evolution. Many speakers are talking nowadays IoT playing a major role in every sector. I will give importance to the manufacturing stream. Then key features of the smart manufacturing and major challenges faced currently to shift from the Industry 3.0 to Industry 4.0, briefly known as smart manufacturing. Then I will give you just a glimpse on the roadmap, how to achieve the Industry 4.0, and finally I'll conclude my talk. Okay, I made very 13 slide. No need to worry. I'll finish within the time. Okay, this is my preamble of the talk now. There is a tremendous growth in the manufacturing industry from the standalone machine tool to flexible manufacturing system. Currently, industries are keen to know the Internet of Things in manufacturing, briefly known as Industry 4.0 or Industry Internet of Things or Smart Factory, which is a digital transformation journey in manufacturing processes, which are more flexible, smart, reconfigurable process in order to address dynamic and a global and a volatile markets, with a more emphasis on the individual customer rather than the batch or a mass production. Early days, batch production and a mass production is playing a major role. Now we have to address individual customers. All industries are trying to move towards this Industry 4.0, even through their products and processes are different, standardization is different, technology is different. For example, if you see the automotive industries like a Hyundai, Maruti, Nissan, Volkswagen, Ferrari, their design, manufacturing methods, all are entirely different from process industries like a chemical, milk, oil refineries, etc. Industry 4.0 works mainly on the hardware and software integration in reality, along with the powerful Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing technologies to achieve high speed, more flexible, and think how best to use their existing power or things to produce the best quality efficiently and effectively with a zero downtime in a stipulated period of time, which is a very important aspect or essence in the global market. Industrial revolution changed our social, economic, and technological status of the country since from the 18th century, what we can call it as a Industry 1.0. Now we are moving towards the Industry 4.0. Then question arises, what is this Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0? Very quickly, I will tell you the important phases. In Industry 1.0, we are using the water and a steam engine to drive the machine tool. In Industry 2.0, we are using the electricity to drive the machine tools. In Industry 3.0, we are using the Internet of Things, robotics. Now currently we are in the era of Industry 4.0, where all the elements involved in the industries, including the machine tools, workers, then material handling devices, all are able to talk themselves and connect to the internet for the data exchange. So the IoT evolution playing a major role in
Professor, please unmute yourself, Professor. You are not audible.
you are audible, sir.
Sorry. Now, IoT is taking a major role in the development of the smart manufacturing, because in which we are connecting the people, connecting the automotives, connecting the houses, connecting the cities, and connecting the industries. This is happening suddenly because almost all machines, components are cyber physical systems. All these cyber physical systems are automatic and able to connect to the internet for the data exchange. This is happening because of the availability of the inexpensive sensors, mobility, cloud is there for data exchange, and increasing computing power, as we already seen that the power and frequency is increasing from the kilohertz to now terahertz. Big data analytics is also available, and also to connect all the items involved in the factory are secured open platforms are there for the data exchange. So the IoT design goal is to connect any device, anybody, anywhere, any business, any network, anytime. This is the beauty of IoT, which is a need of the hour in manufacturing industry to connect all the elements involved in the industry. Meaning the future industries are known as deskless workers. All are working through their mobiles, connecting to all the machine tools or a transfer of material. All. If you see the IoT statistics very quickly, please note, friends, number of connected devices are exceeding the number of people on the earth. Why it is? Because each person is connected to the Internet of Things, 4-5 devices to the IoT. Now, if you see the IoT statistics, what are the statistics I am showing here from 2015 to 2025, we are able to connect 75 billion devices in 2025. Then you may think economic impact of this is the USD dollar 2.7 trillion to USD dollar 6.2 trillion annually we are earning only because of this. Because Internet of Things is not only for communication, it is everywhere it is now. So the researchers from academia and various industries are now working to develop the next generation intelligent smart manufacturing system to address individual customer rather than batch or a mass production. Meaning all industries are reconfigurable themselves to address the individual taste of the customer, because customer is a part in the smart manufacturing system. Some of the key features, if you'll see, what you will see in the smart manufacturing in the future world, the important focus here, all are cyber physical systems, are also known as a smart manufacturing objects, IoT, big data analytics, cloud computing, man-machine IoT systems. Here, customers are the part in the IIoT system. So some of the key features, simply I'm telling you, some automotive factory alone, you will see the automatic machine tools, CNC machines, machining centers, all are cyber physical, meaning they are able to transfer the data through the program and able to connect to the internet for data exchange. Similarly, automatic material handling system, which involves the so many robots like a gantry robots, automated guided vehicle for various operations, starting with material transfer, assembly, inspection, and many more works in the industry. Then loading and unloading stations with the robots, automated assembly lines with the robots, quality stations with the robotic inspection, automated storage devices, cloud computing, and a storage of huge data for the quick decisions. So the interaction is taking place in smart manufacturing. Human to human interaction is taking place. Human to machine interaction is taking place. Machine to machine interaction, factory to factory interaction, factory to the external world, all through the Internet of Things. So the different views of the smart manufacturing, you will see the different people around the world, they are thinking the smart manufacturing is a digital manufacturing technology journey, or the paradigm shift in the business model to see your technology, process, physical environment. Or some leaders will tell this is IoT or a IT infrastructure supporting to the manufacturing. It is a cost-effective, efficient, sustainable, safe, and create the new jobs. In the smart manufacturing, more and more job will create for the white collar job than the blue collar jobs. Here you will get, it is a secured and a proprietary system. Smart manufacturing is a collaborating the cyber physical systems and a low cost sensors to bring the people, processes, and data for better decision in real time. Many people, they will call it as a networked or a connected enterprises. It is a technology bringing together a coalition of people working together, industry, academician, on a common platform for the data exchange. It is a technology of building the infrastructure in the manufacturing. It is a versatile, innovative solution to the manufacturing. So the smart manufacturing is the connected people who are stronger, productive, faster. Technology making impossible to possible. So get ready for it, friends. The new smart manufacturing, every industries are thinking to move towards this. But at the same time, many advantages are there. Also, the many challenges are there to move from industry 3.0 to 4.0. Some of the challenges I will tell you. Now, IT security issues are there because of the security breaches and the data leaks. So the cyber theft happens exchanging the data. Many industries and many software industries are trying to overcome this IT security issues. In this case, problem is not one. Please remember, it is a problem for all. So the research is focused mainly on the security of the data. Also, you'll remember the huge capital is required. Now already we'll see the small scale industries or MSME, all are using the, still they are in the 3.0. Now we want 4.0, where all are automatic and able to connect to the internet. Huge capital information, capital gain is required. Also, you will get return of that. Then employment opportunities. Workers will need to acquire the different or new skills, otherwise difficult. That's why I'm telling you, it is creating the white collar jobs than the blue collar jobs. The privacy, one more biggest challenge in the smart manufacturing is the privacy. Everyone want to safeguard their process or a products or a design. That is no room for that. Meaning the privacy is disturbed here, meaning everything is transparent to see the growth, design, manufacturing process lines. The whole objective here is not to grow alone, grow as a whole towards the country development. Those smart and the small and a large companies who haven't shared their data in the past will have to work their way to more transparent environment for both the parties. Third one is connectivity problems. As I have told you, everything is connected to the internet. Even though we are using the 4G, 5G, then still many new technologies are required, like a 6G, 7Gs are coming to connect all the devices involved in the manufacturing industry for the data exchange. The production system complexity is there based on the type of product, varieties, and a mixture of the product in the individual industries. The finding the skilled people is a very difficult, as because now people want who knows the artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and a data handling capacity, 3D printing technology, which is a need of the hour now. Meaning soft computing technologies are playing a major role than the hard computing techniques. Very quickly, I will show you the roadmap, how to go about it. Now I hope all are ready to move towards this industrial revolution. Redesign your manufacturing process with the latest technologies, as because virtually every product will be transformed into smart product, meaning intelligent agents with the integration of various sensors and actuators to decide themselves, to take the decision themselves. That is the one thing going on in the smart factory. Note, cyber physical systems monitor the physical processes of the factory and make the decentralized decisions. cyber physical systems become Internet of Things, communicating and cooperating both with each other in real time through the wireless web. Please note, friends, as I have told you, the newer technologies like artificial intelligence, augmented reality, Internet of Things, machine learning, dynamic architecture, horizontal and vertical farming, self-driven electric cars, most of the emerging green technologies, additive manufacturing, autonomous robots, big data analytics, cloud, cyber securities are redefining the traditional business models and changing the global business landscape at a very fast pace. So the core areas of this smart manufacturing is additive manufacturing, cloud computing, touch interfaces, augmented reality, cyber security issues, advanced robotics, system integration, system modeling and simulation. These are the core areas. Now all are leading to the Industry 4.0. Finally, I will conclude my talk. Market is highly complex, dynamic, volatile. So the roadmap calls to complete A to Z analysis in the following areas: product standardization, process standardization, man-machine customer standardization, meaning the culture and the mindset you have to turn to the Industry 4.0. Layout standardization and flexibility. As I have told you, smart manufacturing is a reconfigurable manufacturing addressing the individual customer rather than batch or mass. All must be a smart agents. Cyber security, maintenance, and redundancy to build the business ecosystem, to build the end-to-end value chain, to build the IoT platform, sharing the database. Investment and the cost structures. Last but not the least, learn what other companies, meaning similar companies, uses the Industry 4.0 rewards and incentives achieved therein. Find out what you can do with Industry 4.0. Define your Industry 4.0 vision, strategy aligned with your business model, and decide and choose what to start with. Develop your own Industry 4.0 roadmaps. So the smart manufacturing is transforming the world faster than you can imagine. No limits, sky is the limit for this. Thank you one and all for your kind attention.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you
you from the bottom of our heart for every informative presentation. The information which you are giving is in smart manufacturing is really interesting, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, I invite Dr. Senthil Kumar, Professor and Director, Center for Aerospace Research, MIT Campus, Anna University, to deliver his presentation on drones, challenges and opportunities, sir.
Sir, welcome, sir. Good morning. Good afternoon. This is just to go for display mode, sir.
Sir, my screen is visible?
Visible, but you can go for display mode.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Completely okay. It's good. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon all, Professor Kumar and other dignitaries and participants. Thanks for the opportunity. We are here to talk about drones, the future technology. What we are doing in Anna University for the development of drones, how Tamil Nadu is reacting towards the drones. Yeah, next slide. So it's an nearly 100 years technology revolution. Drones is not new. Initially in the year 1903, everyone knows how the manned airplane started. That is in the year 1903, Wright brothers. The world can recall, they are not a really airplane developers. Initially, they own cycle shops. They manufacture the cycles, and nearly they lost entire money when they involved into the airplane manufacturing. Then DOD, Department of Defense, USA, DARPA, they funded the program. Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, they funded the program in 1903 for making airplanes. In 1903, they made a first flight. The picture of first flight you can see, and also the inventors, the Wright brothers in the above. The first flight took about only 12 seconds. Imagine the first flight took about 12 seconds. Only they could able to cross only 120 feet. That is a grand success. Then they proven, okay, there is a huge possibilities of developing this kind of flying machines. So this could be useful for many applications. I think now we are enjoying the airplanes, very short distance, long distance, moving one part to another part. There are a lot of changes. Now the drones. The aircraft, after the development of the manned airplane, the World War I immediately reacted. They understood what is the importance of these airplanes. They used it in World War I as a game changer program. Adoption, particularly the Germans, they taken this adoption very well. There are a lot of technological advances they made, and everyone knows after in Hiroshima and Nagasaki how they use the atom bombs using the aircrafts. Now, after several technological advancement and changes, whatever you are looking in the screen, this is called modern technology military drones used by American armed forces and the entire world. They are using this kind of drones. These drones can be able to fly about continuously a week. About 40 to 50,000 feet altitude, and they will make a surveillance. And nowadays, I think everyone is keen on watching the war between Ukraine and Russia. Russia entered into the Russia started invasion against Ukraine areas, but Ukraine, they are facing the Russian forces with the help of drones, mainly on Turkish drones. All the tanks has been destroyed by the Turkish drones. Maybe each drone will cost about some 40 to 50 crores, but the drone easily destroying the one tank, which is worth about minimum some 500 crores. And also the SAM, surface to air missiles, and air to air missiles, and also destroying the mental stability of the Russians. The war is prolonging. Instead of closing the war suddenly, it is prolonging more than 3 months. It is keep on going. This is because of drone evolution. The drone is not only used for military applications. Nowadays, it has been adapted for civilian applications also. So the drones can be useful in dull, dirty and dangerous missions, bombing, surveillance, and many other military applications. Let us say, but our interest from Tamil Nadu or from Anna University, we are started our research in the way back in the year 2000 with the visionary guidance approach by Dr. Kalam. Initiated a research group called Team Daksha. It's a combination of students and faculty and industry members. They are involving together and researching together, and we are developing many kind of drones for the benefit of society as well as for the benefit of state. So as Anna University, we had expertise on the drone program for the past 20 years. We made more than 100 demos and 8 products we developed, and we did more than 35 sponsored projects. It is worth of more than 50 crores, and we received many national and international awards, including Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award by Government of Tamil Nadu, and National Innovation Excellence Award from Geospatial India, as well Indian Air Force Award, and developed more than 500 research scholars and students in the field. and we are very proud to say we are the first of its kind in India giving pilot training program for the students. Almost more than 200 candidates has been trained from our center. Almost recently we trained a transgender community, about some 15 people, and almost 6 to 7 candidates has got the job also with the 2 lakhs per annum with the initial salary. And this technology has huge opportunities on, in a civilian application, particularly instead of military. I am touching about civilian opportunities. And with the help of Government of Tamil Nadu, recently Honorable Prime Minister of Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu inaugurated Tamil Nadu Unmanned Aerial Vehicles Corporation. In Tamil, it is called Alilla Vanvadi Vagana Kadagam. The chairman of the corporation is Dr. Karthikeyan, Secretary Higher Education, and Managing Director Madam Lakshmi Priya, Dot Commissioner. And being a technocrat and innovator and educator in this field, I am acting as a CEO of the government company. And the idea of this corporation is to bring the startups and manufacturers and all researchers and manufacturing companies together into the drone field and create a wonderful drone ecosystem in the Tamil Nadu. So vision of this drone corporation, that is called so-called Tamil Nadu Unmanned Aerial Vehicles Corporation, is to facilitate sustainable development goals to the highest ranking among the state of Tamil Nadu, transforming the drone technology into self-sufficient factories in villages level to improve the rural livelihoods and create more than 1,000 jobs. That is more important. By 2025, we are assuring that about some 40,000 jobs will be created in Tamil Nadu alone. I am talking in Tamil Nadu alone. There is a big task team committee has been formed by Anna University and Tamil Nadu Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Corporation. Each district, we would like to create 10 entrepreneurs, let us say 100 entrepreneurs under drone corporation, and nearly about 50,000 jobs. And nearly about 50,000 jobs will be created, and mainly about creating a Tamil Nadu as a drone hub. And everyone knows Tamil Nadu is a frontier for automobile and like IT, like some professors talks about IoT, Internet of Things. And Professor, my Honorable Kumar sir, my former registrar and my professor talked about materials. So this drone includes everything. It's a part of cyber physical system. Like for IoT, this is a platform. It may be a agricultural application, or it may be a surveillance, or it may be a materials, or it may be a image processing. For everything, drone is a platform. For construction industry and highways, there are plenty of job opportunities, plenty of applications. So some of the missions we took, first one is the precision agriculture with the low health hazards. Because everyone knows today the acreage is, the cultivable land is getting very shorter because the shortage of manpower. We do not have a manpower, proper manpower in agriculture field. Maybe we have a tractor for mechanization. We have a tractor, we have a harvester, we have a seeder machine. But in between, for each and every crop, they need to have a spraying and spreading system. For spraying system, using a pesticide, where everyone knows how the farmers are badly affected, about their health also, how it is affects, and also the coverage area. The coverage area, let us say the 2 people can cover about per day about 2 to 3 acres. But if we include drone as a spraying system, definitely we can cover 30 acres of land. So our concept is in Tamil Nadu, one village, one drone system. See, we are taking this as a motto. So by understanding our concept, government also initiated so many things. That is the outcome of a drone corporation. The corporation has been created. Now we are pitching in many activities and funds also allotted. let us say one drone, one village. You assume that we are targeting about 15,000 villages in Tamil Nadu. Let us assume in a 15,000 village, if I have one drone unit, let us say the drone unit consists of one agriculture drone, one mapping drone, and one surveillance drone. So totally some 10 technical members will get a job in the village itself. So we want to connect 10 into some 15,000. Let us say nearly about more than 1 lakh jobs can be created. So we are targeting only half of that. Within 3 years, easily we can target 50,000 jobs to achieve the mission of precision agriculture and water resource management and mobility solution for organ transportation and data accuracy like a smart city, town planning, agri land use mapping, and surveillance and safety, mapping and preservation of forest and other natural resources, disaster and rescue operation, particularly skill development and employment. Because government cannot give job to everyone, but we can make them as entrepreneurs. That is our motto. So creating a job for each and every village and creating our manpower. They may be from arts and science background, or maybe commerce background or engineering background. Everyone should be included in the drone ecosystem. So for particularly in drone piloting, there are a lot of opportunities available. So Tamil Nadu can take it as an advantage, because we have Anna University has a drone piloting center. We are running a separate drone DGC approved. This is main important, DGC approved drone training center. Government of India has taken a lot of initiative, and in recent fiscal meeting, Madam Finance Minister announced about 2.5 lakh crores. Just note down, 2.5 lakh crores money has been allotted for drone developments, particularly for agriculture. And in the recently, Government of India has come up with drone rules and PLI, product link initiative schemes, and the drone flying area. See, earlier days, flying the drones is very tricky part. Even though if you want to fly the drones, you need to get a lot of permissions. You need to approach to your VAO, then VAO will send the letter to Tahsildar, Tahsildar will send the letter to police inspector, then inspector will send the letter to SP. You need to get all the approvals, then only you could be able to fly the drones. Now, the things are made very easy. 90% of the Indian skies are open. They separated into green zone, yellow zone, and red zone. Green zone, everyone can fly. With the condition of you should have a pilot license. That is, if you are flying the drones, you should have a license. We are, I think, Anna University, we are giving a license certificate from DGCA. We are the only one institute in India to giving such a certificates from the university category. And number two, the drone should be certified by DGCA. So some of the companies in Tamil Nadu, they are offering certified drones. So Tamil Nadu has advantages of better manufacturing, better manpower, as well the skill of the people is very impressive. So easily we can give the skill improve to the students. We can convert them into the skilled pilots, and we can export them to various states of Tamil Nadu, various states of India first of all. They can get a huge job opportunities. Even a 10th class student with a little bit of English, he can 10 to 15 days, he can finish the drone piloting course, and easily he can get the job and get the 30,000 rupees as a minimum salary. Minimum salary is 30,000. Maximum they can get 3 lakhs per month. This is the trend today, but there is no manpower. A lot of demand is available. Very less manufacturing companies, very less training institutes. But in Tamil Nadu, we have a wonderful ecosystem. This is the market study we submitted to the government of Tamil Nadu. So by 2025, India has about some 1 lakh crore. India has about 1 lakh crore revenue in drone itself. This is only about civilian application. I am not included anything on a military application. If I include military application, it will go for up to tenfold application. So easily we can achieve Tamil Nadu government vision of by 2030. Government is talking about $1 trillion economy. Easily, if we promote the drone industry in Tamil Nadu, it will be a very boosting and encouraging news for achieving the Tamil Nadu government's vision of 1 trillion economy. This is not an imaginable thing, it's an achievable target only. Why? Because Tamil Nadu has all advantage. We have a very good automobile sector. Easily automobile industries with a small kind of rapid development, we can convert into the drone industries. And Tamil Nadu has a lot of polytechnics, lot of ITI, lot of engineering colleges, and a lot of GER. The GER ratio is more than 40. Easily we can convert into the particularly drone opportunities, and we can easily capture 10% of Indian market. It's about 10,000 crore. That is, our aim is to capture within 3 to 4 years, capture 10,000 crore revenue of market through the drone corporation. That is our achievement. In order to achieve this, we Anna University has created many prototypes. I think Vice Chancellor Kumar sir knows, when he was in a registrar of Anna University. That time he made a lot of arrangements. There are tremendous openings and initiatives by the way of getting the TANI fund. For the participant information, first of its kind in Tamil Nadu, we are the agency got 20 crores from Tamil Nadu TANI fund and utilized fully, and received more than 50 crores of money for the development of drones. Now the technology has been transferred to various companies, and we have MOUs with various government agencies like ISRO and DRDO, as well Bharat Electronics Limited, as well Drone Federation of India, DGCA, and Indian Air Force and Indian Army. We are also closely working with them. So some of the products, flagship products, agricultural spraying, we are working with Chennai Corporation, and recently during COVID, and we are part of the agency for eradicating the mosquitoes in the Chennai city. Almost every month we are spraying the larvicide called MLO. That is called some kind of oil. It is provided by Chennai Corporation. We are spraying over the riverbeds of Chennai. Almost 200 kilometer length of river, we are spraying the larvicide. What happens is that the larvae will be killed in the river itself. Corporation is very happy. Now they are buying drones. They are buying 10 drones for the Chennai Corporation, and they are taking our services. And every week we are started spraying the mosquito eradication program. And we are working with Coal India for mining. And we are working with Tamil Nadu Police. And we are working with the Survey of India. We are working with the logistics companies. And we are working with the various STF, the Special Task Forces, and the Chhattisgarh Police Forces. The end users, they will come with their problems. We will listen their problems, and we will give a proper solutions. And based on the solutions, we received many awards. We are national award winners from geospatial policy, and in fact, we created a lot of policies in a government of India level. I am acting one of the chairman of technical committee for DGCA for framing the rules and the regulations. If disaster happens, what are the rules has to be followed? We are creating a policy. So very soon, Government of India is going to implement Anna University policy as the SOP for all disasters. So not only a civilian applications, we are working a swarm of drones. It will make a surgical strikes to the enemy areas. Recently, the program called Meher Baba, announced by Indian Air Force. We took participation from Anna University. Nearly about 152 participated, including all IITs, DRDO, HAL, and NAL. Finally, only 5 teams has been get qualified. Anna University is one of the team, and we won the contest also. We received 2.5 crores as the grant from Indian Air Force, and about some 500 crores of order we are working with Indian Air Force. That means in a picture you could see the surgical strikes. That means a swarm of 20 to 30 drones will fly about some 50 to 100 kilometers. It's like a bird. It will fly like a bird and reach the enemy area and identify the target and exactly pinpoint whether he is a friend or foe, and release the blasting materials and come back to our position. That is called surgical strike with the heterogeneous operation. So with this, easily we can challenge our neighborhood friendly countries. because a lot of things happening in and around India. India is keen on watching in Sri Lanka, China and Pakistan, how Russia and Ukraine using a war drones. Anna is also capable, and Tamil Nadu is capable to completely transform our technology for the development of Make in India programs and making war drones as well as civilian applications. These are all the proven deployments by Anna University: agriculture, traffic management, forest, homeland security, urban development, disaster management, mining and healthcare. These are all the proven drone applications. And right now we are working with the crop protection. So without touching the army and for farming community, the technology will not reach to the next level. தமிழ்லையும் சொல்லுவாங்க வேளாண்மையும் எல்லை வேளாண்மையும். The technology which doesn't touch the வேளாண்மை as well as எல்லை மேலாண்மை, that is Jai Kisan and Jai Jawan. We are touching in both the levels. We are touching the Jawans, we are touching the Kisans. That is our beauty. Still many of the farmers visiting to our institute, they are learning, and they are learning how to fly the drones, how to use the drones, how to use the drones for agricultural crop protection mainly. Our main motto is now working with the agriculture field. In another team is working for military. That is totally different. So every village make a drone as a drone revolution. So for that, this is our focus. Making 15,000 villages we need to reach, create a 45,000 new jobs, making a healthy farmer, healthy and youth and healthy nation, as well as precision agriculture is our target. And the drone spraying industry needs quality of pilots. Tamil Nadu has such a wonderful ecosystem. We have a lot of arts and science colleges, polytechnics and ITIs, even a lot of engineering colleges. Easily we can create jobs. The jobs may be piloting job, or maybe a data processing jobs, or maybe a research job, and as well as MROs. Easily we can convert the existing scooter mechanics into MRO trainers. There are a lot of opportunities are there. We are transforming our research into societal changes. So this is the kind of drone recently we released through Government of India. It's the first of its kind. It is a product of Anna University, product of Tamil Nadu government, India's first petrol operated drones, and successfully people are using it. To cover 1 acres of land, we need only 650 ml of petrol. That is 70 rupees is our operating expenses. So this is the parts of the drone, the engines and the nozzles. This is our hardcore engineering work. And this is the working principle. The drones will operate 2 to 3 meters above the crop. And recently in Tanjavur, in presence of State Planning Commission, Chairman Sri Jayaranjan Saab, and with the state planning members, we given a demo. I think the area is picking up. The participants, those who are interested to work on agriculture drone, please you can approach us through Tamil Nadu Unmanned Aerial Vehicles Corporation. We are ready to support you. Easily each village can create a job opportunity and they can earn also. Some of the features you can see: spraying per day 8 hours, 1 acre spraying takes minimum 10 minutes. So easily we can cover about 30 acres per day. It's an amazing technology. In developed countries like Israel and US, they are using it. Now the petrol operated drone, we are introduced to the government of Tamil Nadu, and the startup or companies, those who are investing into the drones, they can earn about 400 to some 1,000 rupees per acre. 400 rupees to 1,000 rupees per acre based on the demand. They can easily earn. It's a wonderful opportunity for the young engineers, young people, those who are having a capability of developing their own industry. So this is a kind of benefits for the farming industry. Reduces overall cost of the spray, reduces the pesticide, reduces the water, and 15 to 20 times faster than the manual spraying. It is a very well proven application as of now. So like this, more than 12 applications are there in the drone. So drone is a promising and a futuristic application. Definitely it will be the game changing one. See, let us say we are offering a 10-liter tank capacity and technical training and pilot training and also a lot of MRO. See, even once the people have a drones, if it gets repaired, they may not know what to do. So the complete service and the complete training we are offering by understanding the future of this drone. Easily they can be converted. Now another companies we are talking with bigger, let us say the oil companies and the pipeline monitoring companies. And recently some of the companies they are asking 100 pilots. They are ready to offer about some 40,000 per month job. But unfortunately we don't have a certified pilot. That is very important. People they may fly the drones, but they should get certified. It's like how you are getting a license from the Motorcycle Act. If you drive the four-wheeler, you need to have a license. So like this, we are giving a training. We are giving DGCS certified training, and we are giving DGCS certified certificates also. It is valid for 10 years. Minimum 10th class is eligible to attend this course, and the type certification of the drones. Let us say it's like the car, you may have a Tata or we may have a Mahindra. Like this, drones also should have the branding. So based on the classification, micro drone or small drone, medium drone, bigger drone, there is a classification. Because drone has a lot of advantages when compared to disadvantage. If the people they are misusing it's a problem. So for that, government has created this kind of rules. Without license, without type certification, if you have, they may put the fine and they may put prison. They may put in jail for 1 year also. This is a very strict rule. Government of India makes these things. So this is in fact, this is today morning newspaper. I have taken from today's morning newspaper. The Minister of Civil Aviation, Jyotiraditya Scindia, said in the coming years, 1 lakh drone pilots are needed. Even though what we are saying is our next 3 years target, we want to create 50,000 pilots, 50,000 trainees, not only for pilots, but India is looking about 1 lakh drone pilots, both in Tamil and English. Over 1 lakh drone pilots will be needed in coming years. This is ongoing news, today's news, and government of the India has initiated the drone applications, but government of Tamil Nadu is always front runner for this program. Because Dr. Kalam initiated this program 20 years back. In the name of Dr. Kalam, we have a Dr. Kalam Advanced Research Center, and the government of Tamil Nadu funded this program 5 years back. Now, government of Tamil Nadu already started Tamil Nadu Unmanned Aerial Vehicles Corporation. So we are far away from the other states. So easily we can create job opportunities. I just want to put a small video, 2 minutes video clippings. Madam, my video is visible, audience?
No, sir.
Yeah, 1 second. One second, I'll share my video. It will be seeing is believing.
Sir, now.
Is that okay, madam?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. This is recently Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu inaugurated a Tamil Nadu Drone Corporation at Anna University campus.
இந்த வரிசையில் அண்ணாமலை விண்வெளி ஆராய்ச்சி சங்குதல் எனப்படும் ஆளில்லா வான்வழி சிறியர்கள் வானத்தில் வடிவமைப்பதற்கான மாதிரிகளை தயாரித்திருக்கிறார். இதற்கு காரணமான ஆசிரியர்கள், மாணவர்கள், எல்லோரையும் பாராட்டுகிறேன். அனைத்து பல்கலைக்கழகங்களும் கட்சி நிறுவனத்தார்கள் ஏராளமான நிகழ்வுகளை செய்து அவர்கள்
helicopter drone, starting data link, data link, நிவாரண மற்றும் மீட்பு பணிகளை மேற்கொள்வதற்கு ஏற்றவாறு வடிவமைக்கப்பட்ட ஆழ்ந்த சிறிய மைக்ரோ ட்ரோன் விமானத்தை இப்போது பார்த்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். நாட்டின் எல்லைகளில் ஊடுருவலை தடுப்பதற்கும் தடை செய்யப்பட்ட பகுதிகளில் 24 மணி நேரம் கண்காணிப்பதற்கும் கோபுர கண்காணிப்பிற்கும் பயன்படுத்தப்படுகின்றன. ரோடு பணிகளுக்கான செயல்முறைகள் நம்மை கூறி வந்திருக்கிறது. சென்றோம். வான்வழி விளைவுகளை மேற்கொள்வதற்காக
Okay, thanks for your time. I finished my talk. If any questions? So that before concluding, I would like to thank my entire team members, those who are with me more than 10 years. They are the pillars of this program. Without them, it is not possible. Thanks for Anna University as well as my entire team members. Thanks for the opportunity. If any questions, please.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. And from our council also, we are planning to spatial mapping with, for some of the activities through DST, so that we will approach you, sir, to take up some of the work with our council collaboration.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Malakudi, carry on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your knowledge about drones and Tamil Nadu Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Corporation, which is helping in research, commercialization, and providing various job opportunities in the field of drones. Definitely, drone is the promising future technology, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Now, I invite Professor Ramaswamy, Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Mulakudi. We would like to thank all the presenters who have highlighted their institute contribution to the national development and Atmanirbhar Bharat under the theme Future Technologies. First and foremost, we would like to place on records our thanks to Dr. Sudha Seshayan, Vice Chancellor, the Tamil Nadu Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai, for the excellent address on future technologies, highlighting the role of future technologies and what we can expect in terms of healthcare and medicine, how technology can play a major role in disease control, disease detection, monitoring, and the vital role played by medical instrumentations in healthcare sector, the role of biotechnology, genetic engineering. There are so many exciting opportunities and the possibilities in future. Thank you very much, madam. We would like to also mention here that our Vice Chancellor is an amalgamation of science and அறிவியலும் ஆன்மீகமும் இணைந்த ஒரு ஆளுமை. எங்களுடைய இந்த அரங்கத்திற்கு, அதாவது விர்ச்சுவல் மீட்டிங்க்கு வந்து எங்களுக்கு சிறப்பித்து கொடுத்தார்கள். இது மிகவும் அருமையான ஒரு உரையை நிகழ்த்தியிருந்தார்கள். உங்களுக்கு மிகவும் நன்றி அம்மா. தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். We would like to thank Dr. Somasekhar, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Madras, for his presentation on current and future research perspective for intelligent manufacturing system for Industry 4.0. You have wonderfully brought out the intelligent manufacturing system for Industry 4.0 and the application of concepts, various concepts such as cloud computing, cyber physical systems, digital age, Internet of Things, etc. Thank you, sir, very much for your kind presentation and valuable time. We would like to place on records our heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. J. Kumar, Vice Chancellor, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai, for the excellent presentation made by the professor on future technologies, particularly with respect to materials. As we all know, Professor Kumar is a Tamil Nadu Scientist Awardee. We are very honored and privileged to have you, sir, at this meeting. And thank you very much for the excellent talk and the, you have beautifully outlined the application of materials such as graphene, metamaterials, carbon nanotube, so many other exciting materials which can be used in very many industrial applications and critical services sector. Thank you very much for your kind presentation. We would like to thank Dr. Nishat Fatima, Senior Principal Scientist, Central Leather Research Institute, Chennai. Madam has made it in a very short notice in place of Director Dr. Sriram. Madam made the presentation today. We are very happy to have you, Madam, and we are excited to hear all the possibilities and then whatever the sustainability and circular economy with respect to leather and footwear industry, the whatever technology that is developed by CLRI and its application to leather industry and our growth and contribution to the economy and the concept of reuse, reduce, recycle and all those things you have beautifully brought out in your presentation. Thank you very much, Madam, for your kind presentation and time. We would like to thank Dr. K. Sendil Kumar, Professor and Director, Center for Aerospace Research, MIT Madras, for his presentation on drones, challenges and opportunities. Professor, being one of the leading experts in drone nationally and internationally, we are very happy to have you, sir. Thank you very much for detailing the opportunities and challenges that are there in the drone and various applications of drones in sectors such as industry, medical sector, defense sector, etc. Thank you very much for your kind presentation. We would also like to thank our colleagues from Department of Science and Technology who have conceptualized this program as a Vigyan Utsav celebration for a year-long program. Dr. Devapriya Datta, Advisor DST, Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Scientist F, DST, Dr. Ravikant Prajapati, Scientist from DST for their support and cooperation. We would like to thank all the officials, member secretaries, officers, scientific personnel and all other people who have participated from various state councils in this beautiful virtual program. Thank you for your time and your cooperation. We would like to thank all the participants, particularly from various colleges, research institutes and universities, researchers, faculties who have enthusiastically participated in this program. Thank you very much for your time and we are looking forward to your participation in future also. And we would like to thank our own colleagues. First of all, our respected member secretary, Dr. R. Srinivasan, for offering the welcome address and also for opening remarks, setting the tone for the meeting, beautifully bringing out the concept of future technologies, what it can do and what it can be achieved. We can use the future research and development for the benefit of mankind. You have beautifully brought out all the areas wherein the future technologies can be applied. Thank you, sir, for your valuable address and also the support and leadership and encouragement you are continuously giving to all the staff of the council. Thank you very much. And we would like to thank all the council staff who have made a contribution for the success of this program, and particularly Dr. Malarkodi, who has taken up this program very enthusiastically and brought out the program very beautifully. Thank you, madam, for your kind efforts. We would like to thank all the people, one and all, who have contributed in this program in one way or other. And as a message, we would also like to inform that Every month we are organizing this program on behalf of Department of Science and Technology on various themes. The theme for the month of June 2022 is Basic Science for Atmanirbhar Bharat. So we are looking forward to all the interested participants in that meeting also. The date for this meeting will be decided in consultation with Department of Science and Technology. The information will be available in our website and we will communicate to all the people.
Date will be 1st June, and also you request all the members to send the information to their students also to connect more.
Yeah, the date will be on 1st June. This will happen on 1st
We are opening ceremony. Our Tamil Nadu is opening ceremony.
The State Council for Science and Technology, Tamil Nadu, is the leading state for this particular meeting. We will be setting the tone for this beautiful program as to what the basic science can contribute towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and self-reliance. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all. Over to Dr. Malakudi.
Thank you.
Thank you for everyone
For
attending the webinar.
For their certificate, you make arrangement for participant certificate. That's all.
Dear participants, kindly fill up the feedback form so that you can collect the certificate for this virtual meeting as a record. Thank you.